You know, she used to sing about a year without rain, but fast forward to 2026 and Selena Gomez, she's making it rain billions. And while the world is streaming her new movie, Camino, she's behind the scenes, quietly turning down 10-figure buyout offers. Yeah, offers in the billions. All to protect her 51% controlling stake in a $2.7 billion empire. It seems like, in 2026, the new American dream isn't what we thought. It's written in, of all things, liquid blush. Selena hasn't just found her path, her Camino, she's paved it herself. With a net worth that's hit $1.5 billion and a business strategy that is absolutely terrifying the old guard on Wall Street.
So yeah, just forget everything you think you know. The Disney star, the pop singer, that's the old story. That's not what we're talking about anymore. Because the reality, right now, is that Selena Gomez has pulled off one of the most stunning career pivots in modern history. She's literally traded the red carpet for the boardroom. She's swapped pop charts for stock charts. She's building a new kind of dynasty, and it's not built on being a celebrity. No, it's built on a business model that is changing everything.
Okay, so this is the number that has Wall Street shaking in its boots. Are you ready? $2.7 billion. That's the valuation Fortune magazine just slapped on her company, Rare Beauty. I mean, that puts her in the same league as cosmetic dynasties that have been around for 100 years. And she built this not over generations, but in less time than it takes to get a college degree. It's unbelievable.
But, you know, the valuation's one thing. The real power is behind another number. 51%. That's her controlling stake. This isn't one of those deals where a celebrity just slaps their name on a product for a paycheck. No way. She owns the majority. She's the one hiring the executives. She is in charge. Every single decision, every dollar that gets spent, it all goes through her.
And all of that brings us to her personal fortune. Get ready for this one. $1.5 billion. That's her estimated net worth. That number puts her in this incredibly rare club of self-made female billionaires. And she didn't do it over a lifetime. She did it in just a few years. She basically crashed a party that almost no one gets invited to, and she did it by throwing out the rule book.
So you hear all that, right? And you have to wonder, with all that money on the table, she's saying no? The story goes, she hired the advisors, she had the biggest names in beauty lining up, ready to write a check with a lot of zeros on it, and she just walked away. Which brings us to the big mystery of this whole story. Why on earth would you turn down a payday that could set up your family for literally generations?
Well, the answer seems to lie in her Camino, my path. And that's not just the title of her movie, it's the whole philosophy behind this phase of her career. It's a path that completely veers away from the usual celebrity playbook of, take the money and run. Instead, she's focused on building something that lasts.
So that's the big question, isn't it? How did a Disney star manage to build a business that is so powerful, so disruptive, that it has the old guard of the beauty industry just completely spooked? I'll tell you this, the answer is not in some marketing textbook. It's in a totally radical strategy that turned everything we thought we knew on its head. And that strategy, at its core, is all about turning vulnerability into a weapon. Think about it. Where other brands are selling you this impossible idea of perfection, Selena Gomez built an entire empire on the power of being imperfect. In a world full of filters and fakeness, she made authenticity her secret weapon.
And this right here, this quote, this is the DNA of the whole brand. Her public struggles with lupus, with her mental health, she didn't try to hide any of it. Instead, she built her company's entire mission right on top of those struggles. And in doing so, she created this genuine connection with people that, frankly, money just can't buy. This was never a marketing angle. It was the founding principle from day one.
And this is the disruption we're talking about. Look at the difference. The old model, right? It literally profits from making you feel insecure. It sells you a dream you can never ever reach. Rare Beauty just flipped the entire script. It sells self-acceptance. It tells its customers, hey, you're already enough. The makeup, that's just for fun. It's a tool to express yourself, not a mask you need to hide behind.
And believe me, this isn't just marketing talk. The mission is physically baked right into the products themselves. I mean, because of her own fight with lupus, which can make things like opening a bottle really difficult, she started the Made Accessible initiative. She's literally working with occupational therapists to design packaging that's easier for everyone to use. It's proof that you can be inclusive and still be a premium brand.
Okay, so every empire needs a spark, right? The thing that ignites the fire. For Rare Beauty, it wasn't some huge expensive ad campaign. Nope, it was one single, viral product that created a marketing machine, a machine run by its own users, that the big old-school brands could only dream of.
And here it is, the Soft Pinch Liquid Blush. This little $25 product sells every 3 seconds. It generates over $70 million a year in sales, all by itself. And the craziest part? Its greatest marketing asset was something that probably should have been considered a flaw. It was just so pigmented.
And this turned into a whole ritual on TikTok. This whole one dot method, it wasn't a slogan the company came up with. It was a technique that millions of users discovered and shared on their own. It created this viral loop that no amount of advertising dollars could ever hope to replicate. It turned regular customers into creators, into brand evangelists, and it cost them absolutely nothing.
And I mean, the results are just undeniable. Take a look at this. This is the Vitality Score, which basically measures how much impact a brand has in influencer marketing. Rare Beauty isn't just, competing with giants like Kylie Cosmetics and Fenty Beauty. It is dominating them. And it's doing it by building a real army of genuine fans, not just paying a bunch of spokespeople. So you've got this insane viral momentum. What's the next move? Well, for them, it was a calculated strategic play for total market capture. This was never going to be just some niche online brand. The plan was always a full-scale takeover of brick-and-mortar retail, a brilliant pincer movement on the entire industry. Just look at this timeline. First, they proved the concept at Sephora, hitting over $400 million in sales. Then comes the masterstroke, February 2026. They expand into more than 1,500 Ulta Beauty stores. And this wasn't just about getting more shelf space. No, this was a strategic move to acquire a whole new, massive customer demographic.
And hey, you don't have to take my word for it. When the CEO of Ulta Beauty, one of the most powerful executives in all of retail, calls your partnership an honor, well, you get a sense of just how big this move was. That's validation from the very, very top of the industry.
And here's what's so crucial to understand. While all these other celebrity brands were quietly fading away, and let's be honest, while we were all scratching our heads at Brad Pitt's $385 serum, Selena wasn't just surviving, she was strategically scooping up market share from every single brand that got it wrong. But the brand's ultimate defense, its most brilliant strategic move, it isn't a product at all. It's what business nerds call an unbreachable moat. And this one is built on philanthropy. It's a defense mechanism so powerful that competitors can't even try to copy it without looking totally cynical and cheap. See, from day one, Selena pledged 1% of all sales, and that's key, sales not profits, to the Rare Impact Fund. This isn't some PR stunt they cooked up later. It's a non-negotiable part of the business model baked in from the start. It comes out before anyone, even Selena, sees a single dime of profit.
And the impact is absolutely real. We're talking over $20 million raised so far, with a goal of hitting $100 million. What this does is it creates a loyalty loop that is almost impossible for another company to break. People aren't just buying a blush. They feel like they're investing in a cause. They're practically co-founders in a movement.
So all of this brings us right back to where we started, the end game. We've seen the insane numbers, we've broken down the strategy, we've looked at that unbreakable moat. So now, let's get back to that billion-dollar question.
So, with everything we've just talked about, with a brand that has totally reshaped an entire industry, with her own personal fortune totally secured, why in the world would she walk away from a multi-billion-dollar payout?
The answer is surprisingly simple, because the payout was never the goal. I mean, think about it. She's been MIA from the Oscars, the Grammys. She's not chasing trophies anymore. She's building a dynasty. She's putting her empire and her own well-being way ahead of the Hollywood spotlight. The goal wasn't to get out. The goal was to build the thing in the first place.
This quote right here, it reveals her entire mindset. She has surrounded herself with absolute titans of the industry. We're talking veterans from places like Estee Lauder, former CEOs of major brands like Smashbox. She's not building a brand for a quick flip. She's building an institution that's designed to last. This is the long game. This is a play for legacy, not a quick cash grab.
And really, that leaves us with one final provocative thought. Selena Gomez's story might just be redefining what success even looks like. For a whole new generation of entrepreneurs, maybe the ultimate power move isn't cashing out anymore. Maybe it's building something so meaningful, so impactful that you'd never want to. The new American dream, it isn't a payout, it's an empire.
Thanks for watching Media GenX. If you liked this story, show some love with a like, subscribe for future updates, and share it around. Until the next headline.